everybody, Holly Priestley here, Queen Bee of Honeycomb Coaching, and today I want to talk a little bit about fear, everybody's favorite four-letter F word. So it's a little bit gray and drizzly outside, so I've added some extra light to kind of make it so you can actually see my face, and I'm not sure if it's helping or hurting. Hopefully it's helping. I also want to point out that my dog is right here, and she's really cute, and everyone should notice her and wave and say hello to Mona Lisa. Okay, so now that we've got all that silly stuff out of the way, let's talk about everybody's favorite four-letter F word, fear. Fear is kind of a big deal. It really can help or hinder your business and your life and everything else that you do. There's a lot of quotes out there about fear. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And while we all know what fear feels like, you go watch a scary movie and you get, your heart races and you kind of jump, but you know it's fake, but you jump anyway. Or you're going to have to give a presentation and you get knots in your stomach and you get really nervous and afraid about messing up or saying the wrong word. Fear can also be a lot more subtle than that. Fear is not always obvious and in your face and you know exactly what it is and what it feels like. Sometimes fear is self-doubt. Sometimes fear is the imposter syndrome that says, who do you think you are? You are nobody. You don't have enough experience or confidence or knowledge or education to do this thing that you want to do. You're not strong enough mentally or physically. And I'm a huge proponent of facing your fears and tackling your fears. One of my biggest fears, anybody who knows me knows that I am really afraid of heights. I get super, super nervous and they make my palms sweat and I get nauseous and I talk kind of fast and funny and like high-pitched and stuttery. It's not good. Also, I really, really enjoy rock climbing. It's one of my favorite things to do. I try to do it at least 3 times a week. And when I tell people that I go rock climbing, they usually say, oh, I could never do that. I'm too afraid of heights. And my response is like, heights is one of my biggest fears. I'm totally afraid of heights and I climb anyway because it's so much fun, it's so rewarding, and it shows me what I can accomplish on my own. And sometimes fear does get the better of me. I won't try certain routes if they're too tall or if I feel like I might fall on them, even if I'm climbing in a gym with 3 feet of padding or somebody there with a rope who's going to catch me. Sometimes the fear is just too strong. But I tell you what, since I've been climbing, my fear of heights hasn't exactly diminished, but I've learned more or less how to control it, and I've learned my own abilities. And I've learned that I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was, physically and mentally. And I get stronger every time I go, physically and mentally. But when it comes to your relationships or your business or things that are maybe a little bit less tangible, fear can be a huge deterrent to actually getting what you want and growing. So often in times, so flipping often, we will let the fear of failure override the excitement of potential success. I don't want to start that business. I don't want to leave my comfortable job. I don't want to talk to that person because what if they say no? What if they reject me? What if it fails? And really, what if it fails? What's the worst thing that could happen? Now, I'm not saying you should just jump into something willy-nilly without planning for it and making sure that you have the resources and the skills. But you don't need 100% of the resources and the skills now. You can start with 80% and learn the rest as you go. You don't start climbing at, a beginner level and expect to be able to climb the advanced climbs right away. You have to start somewhere, and if you start small, you gain muscles, skills, and abilities really quickly, and the same applies to business. You don't have to have run a business before to run a business. How would any businesses ever get started if only people who ran them before started them? You would never know. You'd never know what you were doing. So don't let the fear of failure stop you from potential success. One of the biggest things that I see with entrepreneurs, especially women, is fear of being too visible. And this goes for when we're starting businesses online and we need to market. We need to use social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, YouTube. And we worry about coming off too strong or being too salesy or promoting ourselves to the people who already know us and love us too much because we're afraid of what they'll think of us. I do this myself. But in order for you to grow your business and to be the ladypreneur that you want to be, you have to be visible. You have to tell people what you do. How are they going to know if you don't tell them? The same goes for relationships, romantic or platonic. If you see someone whose energy really vibes with you and you want to get to know them, how often have you delayed introducing yourself or neglected it altogether because you were afraid that you weren't enough? You weren't cool enough or smart enough or advanced enough in business. And you didn't even introduce yourself and find out what kind of beautiful friendship you could have had. So the next time you want to do something, acknowledge that you're going to feel the fear, feel it, and do the thing anyway. If you have to logic it out, write down all the reasons why being successful is going to be amazing. And if you do this thing, what are all the good things that could happen? If you're a creative, your brain is working overtime and it's probably coming up with all these creative things that could happen if you don't succeed, if you fail at this thing that you're going to try. So how about you put that creativity to use, spin it around, and do a little list of all of the things that could go right and all of the positive changes that could occur from approaching your fears and doing the thing that you want to do to get the life that you want to have. I mean, you have to weigh it. Your fear of failure, does it outweigh your excitement for success, or are you going to let excitement for success outweigh your fear of failure and do the thing anyway? Give it a shot. Don't let fear rule you. Don't miss out on your best life because you're afraid. Our comfort zones are comfortable, but that's not exactly where life happens. That's not where the big strides are made. So I hope this video has been useful for you. If you think it could be inspiring to somebody else, please do share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try to publish at least one new video a week, usually around some kind of business topic. And come follow me over on Instagram and Facebook under Honeycomb Coaching. Also check out my website, honeycombcoaching.com. And let me know if you have any questions for future videos. I hope you guys have a great day.